Hello, yes, we're going to see about RFP routing configuration. So for this, I'm creating three different networks. So one network will be 192.168.10.0. So another network will be 192.168.11.0. And another will be 192.168.12.0. So we have to drag and drop the pieces, whichever is required for configuration. So for 10.0 network, I'm connecting with two different computers and switches to connect multiple PCs. Cabling, automatic cabling will be chosen. So based upon that, it will select straight through or crossover cable. Then we have to connect with the router. So we are taking the router PT. So it will have default serial interface and Ethernet port. I'm connecting switch with the router and then router to router device. So the router to router device serial cable will be selected. Switch device and then computers. So after connecting with the cables, we have to start with the configuration. So three different networks. One, this is 10.0 and this will be 11.0 and this network will be 12.0. So PCs, we have to assign the IP address now. So go to global configuration mode. From that, we can assign the IP address 192.168.10 network. So starts with 10.2. And for this PC, I'll assign 192 was 168.10.3 I will assign. And for this router IP, I will assign the router Ethernet port. This is 0 bar 0 interface. So I will assign 10.1 first IP address for router. So this IP address you have to give, then turn the port to on state. This IP address you have to assign as default gateway for these pieces. The router's IP address. Same like that, we have to configure for 12 network also. And then to 168.12.1. 12.1 for router. So we'll give 12.2 for the PC. 12.3 for this piece. So after assigning IP address to the computers, I have to assign the IP address for the router. So on the router fast Ethernet port, which is FA 0 bar 0, assigning IP address 12.1 and turn to port state to on state. After that, you have to configure the router serial interface IP address. So I'll assign 11.1 and turn the port state to on state. And here 11.2. So now we have configured all the IP addresses and default gateway we have to give for this network. So 12.1, that is router's IP. So here also we have to give the router's IP. So for this network, 12.192.160.12.1 will be the default gateway. And for this network, 192.160.10.1 will be the router's default gateway IP. So after configuring all the IP addresses, now we have to configure the routing protocol. So here we are going to configure RIP routing protocol. So here you have to go to the config. In that you have to select click RIP and you have to give the IP addresses which are directly connected. So for this router, this network and this network are directly connected. So 192.168.10.0 is directly connected and 11.0 is directly connected. Same this router also directly connected networks are this 12.0 and 11.0. For this router, 10.0 is indirectly connected, so we will not give input of that. Other than that, we have to give the input of the other two networks, which is 168.12.0 and 11. With these two are directly connected for this router. So now we have to, after sending the message, we can check whether it's functioning correctly or not. We send from PC1 to PC2 here, which is of different network. So we are sending 192.168.10.2 IP to 192.168.12.2. So message is going to the PC2 and it's returning back. So this is the RIP routing protocol configuration. Thank you, viewers.